Hi friends, it's Frank. I thought you might want to see what I did with my summer. If I'm being totally honest, you probably don't want to see what I did with my summer, but I wanted to make this video. So enjoy about a 6-minute version of what took me probably 150 hours to do this summer. This is a Chesapeake Light Craft 3-position rowing dory, which I bought the kit for thanks to Tabor Academy summer sabbatical program, and set up a little workshop outside of my apartment. You can see Mary helping me out. All these pieces are cut from 5 or 7 millimeter okume plywood. They're all pre-cut by laser or whatever, I don't know, laser. We glue the joints together with epoxy, and then we stitch the planks onto first the bottom. You can see I am sanding the joints flat, stitching the planks together using copper wire. You can see those 4 bulkheads that we built. Also stitch the planks to the bulkheads. You can see Mary working on the transom there. There's the boat fully stitched together. Mary wiring up the last piece. Alright, the next step, and if you're still listening to this, you're a champ, I appreciate it. The next step there is to actually glue together in between the wires, again using epoxy with filler. And now we're removing the wires, cutting and removing each one of those wires. So now the boat is glued together. It's not watertight, but in between where each wire was is a spot of glue. The next step is to tape off the inside, and that is a sheet of fiberglass, or actually 4 separate sheets of fiberglass laid onto the inner part of the hull. And we're going to do 1 sheet of fiberglass on the outer part of the hull. You can see it draped there. Mary mixing up the epoxy. Total of 3 gallons of epoxy in this boat. And there's the fiberglass with the epoxy already hardened in there. Turns it invisible, more or less. And we start to glue the rails on. 2 sets of rails, first glued together and then glued on to each side. There's the boat fully epoxied inside and out, plus the rails are on. Next, we are building the thwarts. So there are actually 4 seats in this boat. And there goes the little stern seat with 2 different colors. There's pine and mahogany there on each of these thwarts. There's the whole inside all epoxied up without the thwarts. Loving lingering shots of how good the boat looks with its full coat of epoxy. 3 coats on each side. There it is, all scuffed up again, ready to get painted. About a minute left if you're still listening. Here goes the paint. Kind of a battleship gray on the inside and dark green on the outside. I left the top plank just as epoxy, and then covered with a coat of varnish. I'm not sure I love the way it looks and might change that. If I'm being totally honest, I didn't completely finish this, but I really wanted to row it before winter set in. So it's about 90% complete, and there I am on the water rowing from the fixed seat bow position. And I'll have to bring it indoors this winter and finish it up. There's Jean rowing from the stern position, fixed seat. And there I am with my sliding seat rig dropped in, sculling oars, which I painted up red for visibility. A little bit of Tabor coloring on those oars. And there it is, what I did with my summer project by Frank Townsend.